Hello everyone, myself Sahana. I am from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, ISC 5th SEM, and today I am going to explain the topic on the relational model from database management system. Firstly, in the index, we will learn about the relational model definitions, and secondly, the object of the relational model, and next is the principles of relational model, and we will learn about what are the characteristics of the relational model and the differences between a database management systems and the relational database management system. At last is conclusion. In this slide, we can see the relational database definitions such as a DBMS. It is a database management system that will manage the data as a collection of tables in which all the data that relationships are represented by the common values in related the tables. A DBMS that follows all the 12 rules of the CODD is called the Relational Database Management System. The relational model, it is developed by Dr. E.F. Codd at IBM in the late 1960s. A relational model of the data is used for the large shared data banks. The other definition of the relational database is it is a set of relations, and the relations it is made up of two parts such as schema and instance. In the schema that specifies the name of relation plus the name and the type of each column. For example, the student such as SID it is a string and name also a string, and in the login string is user, and in the age integer GPA it is a real, and instance is it is a table with rows and the column. In this slide we can see what are the principles of the relational model. The data about various entities and their relationships are stored in a series of logical tables by using a rows and columns. A relation is a two-dimensional table with a certain imposed restrictions. Each row is unique. There is no duplicate row that exists, and entries in any column have the same domain. Each column has a unique name. Order of the columns, maybe in the rows or columns, is irrelevant. Each entry in the table is always a single valued. These are the main things that has been used to build the relational model, such as the attribute, tuples and cardinality and its definitions. Firstly, the attribute of the field, it is a member of a relation type, and the attribute name, it is the all the attribute names must be in the unique within a table or in the relation. Attribute domain is the set of all the possible values that can be attained by an attribute only. Attribute values set the values currently contained in an attribute. The relational or the table degree, it is the number of the attributes in a relation. Tuples, it is the rows in a table. Cardinality is nothing but the number of the tuples that is present in a relation. Here we can see the example of the relational model by using the student database, such as we use the student table or the relation, that is the roll number, name and the CGPA. Here we given the primary key as a roll number because it should be a unique and it cannot be repeated. And the rows is also called as tuples and columns is also called as attributes. In this slide, we can see what are the characteristics of relational database model, such as the built-in data integrity, data consistency and accuracy, and easy data retrieval, and easily you can share data, and controlling the redundancy is nothing but like repeating of the data can be controlled. Next is data abstraction, and it will provide the security. Data entry can be easily done and supports the multiple uses. Here we can see the differences between a DBMS and RDBMS. Firstly, in the DBMS, that here concept of relationship is missing and it exists very less. But in the RDMS, it is a based of the concept of relationships. In the DBMS, speed of operation is very slow, but speed of operation is very fast in the RDBMS. Hardware and software requirements are minimum in the database management system, but the hardware and software requirements are high in the relational database management system. And platform is used normally the DOS, but in the RDBMS, the platform can be used DOS, Unix, VAX, VMS, etc. In the DBMS, we use a concept of a file, but in the RDBMS, we use the concept of tables for rows or columns. But in the DBMS, we normally use a 3G network, but in the RDBMS, normally it uses a 4GL. And examples of the database management system is DBase and Foxbase. But in the RDBMS, Oracle, Ingress, SQL Server 2000. Here we can see what are the popular relational database management system that will support the SQL. First is the Oracle, that is widely used by the users, and Sybase and the Microsoft SQL Server, Informix, Ingress and DB2. At last is conclusion. The relational database is a way of structuring the information in tables such as the rows and the columns. The relational database will store the data in the form of tables. At last we discovered that primary key or field to link the tables allows the data to be accessed in a relational database. A relational model of the data for large shared data banks. Thank you everyone.